Hey, you guys, it's Negative Indicted TV here. We're almost at 100K. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also remember I go live on Wednesdays evenings. I drop an episode every Sunday, 11 o'clock. Make sure you guys comment. If you guys have any suggestions, any questions, whatever it might be, drop a comment. Let's get into this episode.
Hey, check this out. If you want to get into Navy Fed and get 20,000 in 95 days, comment the word credit. All right, come here. I already bombed this right here. Fix your credit. If you're Latino, you need to wake up. Fix your credit.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Indicted TV. I'm your host, Negra. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram. Before we start, you already know I gotta give a shout out to my sponsors, Royalty Honey. Keep it hard, guys. Also for the best jewelry, for his glory, for some barrio grown fire, Lupi Sanchez in Lincoln Heights, and for some dope streetwear, the Subful Company. And if you want to get tatted, make sure you get tatted by the best, Loyalty Ink in Rialto. So, fool.
What up, folks? Craig.
And on today's episode, we have also welcome to Indicted TV.
What up? Thank you for having me.
It's about time, you know. We've known each other for many years.
Hell yeah.
Probably as long as I've been with my husband.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So tell us, for the people that don't know you, tell us where you're from. I don't mean the gang, where you grew up, mom, dad. How was it for you growing up?
So I grew up in La Puente. So I moved there when I was probably like 5.
From where?
From East Los.
Okay.
From East Los. From like, probably like the Mata Villa area right there by like 710 and shit right there. So,
Like by King Taco or
yeah,
something?
around there. So we moved from there when I was 5 to over here. And it was, mom and dad right there, a bunch of brothers and sisters, all brothers, one little sister, the youngest, you know what I mean? And we moved over there, maybe to get us away from whatever they were, you know what I mean?
Trying to get away
in the middle
from?
of right there, but it's everywhere, you know what I mean?
Yes.
There ain't no getting away from nothing when you're in Cali over here.
For sure. At least like Southern California,
Pretty
right?
much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless you're in the hills or
And you
something,
said you had
know?
lots of brothers.
Yeah.
Which one are you?
I'm number 5 out of 6.
Oh, okay. So you're the youngest.
Second to the youngest.
Second to youngest.
Yeah, and then the little baby, my little brother and my little sister.
Ah.
Yeah.
So you were kind of like the one that you just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, just let him. Oh, let him.
You know?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay. And so you moved there when you were 5 years old. Your parents were together always?
Yeah, no, not always when we first were there, but for the most of the part right there, probably till I was about, I want to say like 16 or 17.
Oh, you're already a teenager.
Yeah.
Running wild already.
Yeah. So it wasn't until like after camp, I ended up getting busted and going to jail. And then when I got out of camp, there was no more mom and dad.
Oh wow! Okay, well we'll wait till we get there, right? And when I asked you, did you ever go to juvenile hall? But you went to school, elementary, everything was cool.
Yeah. Went to Sunset Elementary right there in La Puente.
Like on Sunkiss.
Yeah, on Sunset and Temple.
Okay, yeah.
I went to Sunset right there, and then we moved from right there when I was like in the 5th or 6th grade. Then we moved to the other side. We moved right there to Main Street.
Okay.
We moved right there to Main Street, and then I started going to Sierra Vista. Went from the elementary into a junior high, because at Sierra Vista it was 6 through 8, and over there it was 1 through 6. You know what I mean? So
okay.
I went from the elementary to the junior high and shit. You know?
Got it. But were you already like a little troublemaker?
No, not really. I mean, where I lived at when I was little, right there at 5, is like it was active right there.
And what about
Like
your
that
brothers?
block right there was active. Yeah, they were all already
Part of the neighborhood there.
They were already all situated. You know what I mean?
Ah.
And the block was crazy. But at that time, when they were messing around, we were like a little too young still. We were probably like 9. You know what I mean?
You
10
were, yeah,
and
yeah.
And still, you know, so it wasn't like that yet until we moved to the other side and shit when I was like around 10. And then when I hit the junior high, it was already different. Like, you know what I mean?
You're
Junior high
too
was
cool?
already different. There was already fools already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fools were already sneaking weed and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Messing around and stuff. So the dynamic changed a little more when I got to the junior high.
Even
from
when you were
elementary,
dressy
you
and
know
stuff.
what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice. I mean, not nice, but nice. You know,
Right.
we're living our best lives at whatever
yeah.
age.
Yeah, it
we're
was
living
cool.
our best life. You were playing outside. Did you do sports or
for
anything?
sure. Yeah, no, I played sports after when I hit high school. I played at Puente for a little bit. I think I only played like 2 games, and I was already messing around and shit. You know what I mean? I
Okay.
got to like 2 games, got kicked out from practice and all that. You know what I mean?
And
I
then
didn't play for
after
too
that
long
is when you went to
at
juvenile
Puente,
hall?
So you know what I mean? Yeah, and then I ended up going to juvenile hall.
What did you go to? How old were you, and what did you go to juvenile hall for?
I was like 17.
Well, you're already a big boy.
Yeah, I was 17 already. So they had to. I guess they had been looking for me for like 2 years
Dang.
for some robberies that I did, right? But I didn't even know they were looking for me. Like, I wasn't hiding or nothing. I was just running regular program. We were just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Messing
playing.
around, knuckleheads or whatever. And then one day when I was at the house, they raided the pad. They raided the pad and I got busted. And I was like, they're like, yeah, we got in for them robberies. And I was like, oh, damn. I was like, I didn't know. I was like, how long? They were like, we've been looking for you for a long time. I was like, that's
Damn.
crazy. I was like, I wasn't even hiding from
I've been
I wasn't
here
even
all
hiding
along.
from you guys. I was just chilling, you know? But yeah, I ended up hitting the halls after that.
So you went to where did you go?
I went to Los Padrinos, obviously, first, you know what I mean? From Los Padrinos to Central.
Well, tell me about you walking in, because you're tall. Fool. You always been tall, probably.
No, yeah.
Or nah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I was already big, so.
You walking in there, like, how was it for you? Like, do you remember? Like,
No, I
shit.
remember. Yeah, I remember. It wasn't nothing. I wasn't tripping. Like, they put me in a cell. I remember there was a black cat in there. He was a blood or something. It was cool. He wasn't tripping on nothing. We were just, you know.
Cool.
It wasn't nothing. And, yeah, I went from there to Central. You know
And
what I
I
mean?
was Central different.
Well, Central was more active. There was
Did you
way
get in
more.
a fight?
There was way more gangsters. No, not right there. No.
Oh, nice.
I didn't bump into many enemies. It was just
'Cause you were
mainly
an SUV boy.
More East Los fools, and it was everywhere. You actually get there, and there's fools from the valley. You know, there's
Everywhere,
fools from
yeah.
all over. So, went from there to Silmar, and from Silmar I went to I want to say Challenger.
Damn, you went to camp on your first
I
time.
went to Challenger. Yeah, they got me for 2 robberies. So I
How
ended
long
up-
did they sentence you for?
they gave me? I want to say 16 months or something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, so I ended up going to do the
I mean, it's
whole.
not funny, but it's like it's your
It was
first
a year
time,
plus.
and it's like
Yeah, in camp too. I was like, damn, but I was already almost an adult.
Dang.
So they ended up sending me to Challenger, and so I hit, I want to say Smith, and then McNair, or McNair and then Smith. I don't remember.
Well, tell me
which
about your
one.
preparation to go to camp, though. Like,
I mean,
did you have
camp,
to-
it wasn't shit
like,
either.
did you have
you
to
know?
prepare to do anything, or like what?
Nah.
You didn't have to learn to make your bed, square your
Yeah, all
corners,
that
and all
little
that.
fold your bed in the little corners and all that. You know, regular
Uh-huh.
Marine crap, or sit on your flat back and sit on the corners and all that. You know,
Yeah.
regular camp.
But
shit.
no fighting at all, still.
Nah, no fighting yet.
Damn.
no
Well, if I
fighting
know
yet.
you didn't get a fight at all.
So then we get to from there. I was going to fire camp because I
Oh.
had recommended fire camp
Because
with
you
my
turned
lawyer.
18.
I was like, let me go to fire camp. So they're like, all right, we'll send you to fire camp. So I hit fire camp and went to Smith. It was not Smith, or was it Camp Smith? I think the fire camp was called Camp Smith, and it was dope. That camp was dope. Right there, we got into some fights and shit. Right there, you know what I mean?
But why was it dope? What makes it so dope? Like that stands out.
Because
that you're
it's
like,
a super small camp, and like the food and everything and the whole program is like, it's not like being in jail. It was
More
like
free.
You're at work, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was literally like work,
did you ever have a job prior to going to camp?
like a real job. Nah. Nah, not at all.
Okay. I was gonna say, so they basically you've never really had a job.
No, not at that point. Nah.
Damn, you're down, Wayne.
Yeah, super down. Yeah, super down. Nah, but yeah, so then I'm at the fire camp, and that was cool. It was cool right there because we were going on fires and all kinds of. It was pretty fun. You know what I mean?
What would you say was like the most dangerous thing that you recall?
There was a fire over there that was at the Flint Ridge La Cañada flyers. You don't remember that?
I think so.
It was in the valley, and it
But,
was
like, what
like
year
I want to
was
say in
this?
like 98 or 99. It burned
Oh,
for like
those are
it
freaking-
burned for like I want to say like 12 days or something
Crazy as
like that.
days for me.
But we were on that fire for like 4 or 5 days. Like we would go on the fire for 16 hours overtime and all that. And then we would get taken off the fire, go rest and sleep, and we would wake up and go straight back to the fire. Like we did this shit like 4 days in a row. Like it was crazy, but yeah, there was some crazy situations right there in that fire.
Like
that
life,
fire
death
shit is there.
shit.
You'll die right there, you know what I mean? Especially if it's windy and shit like that. Like if you get caught in the wrong little section and the wind comes blowing your way the right way, you're
And you guys are
done.
kids.
Yeah, we're all 18 though.
I mean, but still, you
Everybody
know,
on the fire is 18. Like if you're out there, you're 18. You know what I mean?
because it'd probably be too dangerous.
Yeah, you can't
It'd
go
be too
into-
like it wouldn't be
because
right.
they have like different tiers of firefighters. So they have the fools who do like mop up. So that's when the fire's already done, and the fools come and like clean up all the little bullshit. But we were like right there on the big dogs. You know what I mean? They call it hot.
Was it with the water or what was it? Like, how did you guys?
No, we had
take
water
it down?
and shit sometimes, but we're just cutting line with like saws and axes and
As it's fucking on fire?
yeah, hot lines.
Oh, dang.
Hot lines. Like it was crazy. It was crazy. It was
That's
some
pretty
exciting.
scary.
Yeah, it was some shit. It was some.
I'm
real-
not doing this again.
But we were actually making money. Like all the whole time. Like when I got out, I ended up getting a check for like $1,500.
Oh, well, that's cool.
And this is in like '99 or something like
So
that.
that was good
so
money
I was
for
like,
you?
I was like, I got a check. So I didn't even know we were getting paid. So I got out and my
nice.
probation officer handed me a check, and I was like, oh shit.
Did you have
I got
visits?
busted for robbery. They're paying me for
Yeah, right?
being
That's a good way to look at
This
it.
is beautiful. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that was cool. You know what I
Did
mean?
you have any visits while you were incarcerated?
Yeah, my mom came and visited me a few times while I was right there.
Oh.
Yeah, she was with me at the fire camp, and then at the other spot too. When I was like a child, I remember she brought me like some shampoo or something like that, or you know what I mean, body
little brown
washes,
bag or
and,
whatever?
Yeah, a little stupid bag. You know what I mean? But at the fire camp, it was cool because like they could bring food and stuff like that. So they used to sneak food in and stuff. Like her and this fool's from Pomona. They would come. My mom and her mom would come together and shit. But like they would bring us like these plátanos and all this little shit in their purses and shit.
Oh, well, that's cute. That's nice.
Yeah, they were giving us money, and we knew the cook, so they would give us cash at visit, and the cook would hire whoever we wanted, our little crew, to work and shit. And then after we would be done working, she'll buy us whatever food we would be like,
Oh,
hey, go get
nice.
us this or that. She'll go buy us all kinds of
Hell
stuff
yeah.
and act like she was doing it for us or whatever, you know? So it was cool.
Oh,
It
those
was
are,
cool.
that's
that camp
cool.
was that camp was pretty cool.
When you came home, how did you go from there? Like they pick you up from the camp, or how did that go?
No, I got out from right there. I got out from right there.
Your parents picked you up, or you took like
Yeah,
a
no, they
bus?
picked me up. They picked me
Okay.
up from right there.
And how was the ride back? Like,
just
were your
walked
parents
out.
telling you things, or like
Nah,
what?
on the ride back is when I figured out that there was no house right there on the hill. So I'm remembering in my crib, we had a 2-story pad right on Main Street, you know? So I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I'm thinking of getting out, going back to the block. And then they're like, we don't got that house no more. I was like, oh, damn.
Where did they go, or what?
Well, my mom was living somewhere else and my pops was living somewhere else.
Shit. So where did you go? What about your brothers?
So I had a prima at the time who I was real close with. We were the same age and shit. You know what I mean? My cousin Michelle. Shout out to Michelle.
Shout out to Michelle.
So she was like, just come stay with me and come to the house and shit, you know? So I went over there to stay with her. And I remember they wanted to put an ankle monitor on me. And so my aunt was like, I don't want to do all that right here and shit, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, well, don't trip. Yeah, if I got to go on the run, you know what I mean?
Damn.
It is what it is, you know? So they ended up, because I was 18, it was like a wrap, the probation or whatever, so they ended up not doing it, you know what I mean? But I bounced anyway to the block, you know what I mean? So that's when kind of like, I started fucking around a little bit. You
Kind of
know
went
what I mean?
down more downhill.
Yeah,
And
because
it's
it was
like
like
you
there
came
wasn't
out
no
good.
crib, there wasn't
Yeah.
nothing to kind of go to and shit, you know? So we went over there to Lawnwood, one of the blocks right there, and you know what I mean? And yeah, that's when it turned up right there.
Did you start using?
Nah. Well, we did start using, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, we did. But it wasn't like we were hustling though, so it wasn't like it was a dope problem a little bit, you know what I mean? But like
But not
we
like
had
that
the
much.
dope. Like we just started selling dope, you know what I mean? So yeah, not to be proud of it, but like at the time, like we were, you know
Well,
what I mean?
no,
Like,
yeah. I mean, that's
we
like
were
what, 20
doing.
years ago?
Hell yeah, that's a long
That's a long time.
ago.
Like we're just right here, sharing your story, your story, you growing up. How was it for you? That's basically like, fuck if you're a
Yeah, so
fucking
now we
smoker.
were smoking
Hey, well,
dope
if you're
and
a
shit.
smoker, you're a smoker.
Nah, for sure. No, we were definitely smoking dope. We were definitely
I
smoking
never
dope.
hide. Like I did for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And it
No,
just is what it
100%.
is. But that's not who I am anymore. And it's like if you look at me that way, then that's your bill, not mine.
No,
I will not
100%.
see you in heaven because you're judging me.
No, for a fact.
And that's how I look at it.
But yeah, so we were smoking dope and slanging dope and stuff. But yeah, that's when things started getting like a little hectic. You know
Did
what
you
I
have
mean?
kids yet or no
Nah,
girlfriend?
no
nothing?
kids. No kids or nothing.
Oh, good. Okay.
And no girlfriend. There was a couple of chicks around and shit, but nothing like, you know what I mean?
Serious.
Yeah, it was just acting up wherever, whenever, you know? Uh-huh. And then, yeah, so we were just doing that for a while. It was just kind of going crazy. From there, it kind of went up, like on the whole doing dope and doing everything and running around the city and shit, you know what I mean? Because if you know right there on down Lawnwood was crazy back in the day. Like that was that street, right, Lawnwood and Dalville. Like it used to be cracking. Everybody lived on that block. That
In
was
the
like,
late 90s to early 2000s.
yeah, it was pretty active and shit right there. I got shot right there around that time and too.
Oh, so you got shot.
Yeah, a little bit after I got out of prison, but
Oh, when you got out of prison. Okay, okay.
but
Yep.
right off of that block too, coming right out of that block right there and shit. You know what I mean?
And you still go back.
And yeah, so I mean, at the time, that's what we were doing, though. That's where it was
it's
at.
normal.
That's where everybody was at. That's where we were living. You know what I mean? Like that was the crib.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I
your
mean?
spot.
Like you pull up there any time of day. It don't matter what time. You know what I mean?
Somebody's there.
awake. You know what I mean?
For
It's good.
sure.
You can go make a meal, take a shower, whatever you need to
Yeah.
do. You know what I mean?
It was like a home for everybody.
Yeah, the homies on the block right there. That's what they used to call it, to the block. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, shout out to everybody on the block. You know,
Shout out to everybody on the block.
they're not
And
there
all
no
the
more. You know what I
blocks.
mean? They're not there no more. But you know, they're still around, a few of them and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah. That block was pretty crazy, you know. A lot of who I am came from that right there, you know.
So then what happens next?
So then, then we're just running around selling dope, and then I ended up catching a dope case. I catch a case.
At what age?
I'm 20.
Okay, you're 20 now.
Yeah, I'm 20 now.
Okay. And you go to the county for the first time.
Yeah, I
But
catch the
how
case,
did
I go
you
to the
how
county.
did you get busted though? Like did you get like the cops pulled you over?
Nah,
Like
so
give us
what
the
happened?
details.
So what happened was I was leaving this chick's pad to go to
So-
some other chick's pad.
That's what happened, you see?
Right? Because I had talked to her earlier. She's like, yeah, pull up. And, you know, back then there was no cell phone, so it wasn't no calling, hey, are you there? Or whatever.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
said, pull up, you're coming, you know? So I pull up, and she's not answering the door and shit. So I go around the back, and I'm knocking on her door, you know, her sliding glass door. She wasn't older, and I was young at the time. She was probably like in her 30s, you know what I mean?
Damn.
She was like cougar status or whatever, you know?
Mean perv.
Yeah. So I go to her door, and I'm knocking, and she's not coming. I'm like, I know she's here. Her car's outside, you know? So then her little bathroom window opens, and she's like, what are you doing? I was like, you told me to come over, stupid. You know what I mean? She was like, my baby daddy's here.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, shit. So I have all kinds of dope on me. I got
Everything.
coke on me. I got meth on me. I got scales. I got all kinds of stupid shit. I'm like, my pockets are full of all kinds of ridiculous paraphernalia, you know? Because I was going to kick it. So when she says that, I fill my pockets to like take an inventory check. I go look to the side of the building. And when I look to the side of the building where her house is, I see yellow lights right there, and I'm like, "Oh, damn, who the?" And bam, it was like, bam, flashlight goes on, and bam,
Well, they were like what, looking at you, looking for you.
they're
or
already
something?
pulled up. That fool had already called the cops. She
You're
was asleep, and whoever was with her called the Hudas.
Dang.
Yeah, so by the time I looked up, they're already there. You know what I mean? So ended up catching a fucking sales charge.
So then you're in the cop car and you're going to LA County.
Yep.
How was that?
Well,
for
I think we
you?
went to industry first. Probably went to industry station first or whatever, and then went to the county.
Is that the one like under the kind of when you have to go?
Yeah,
to the,
right there. Announce it. Yeah, exactly. By the banks and all that right
Mm-hmm.
there. Yeah, right there where the helicopter be at. But yeah, so I went there. And then from there we went to the county. You know what I mean?
And how was that? Because now you're 20, you're an adult. It's completely different.
Yeah, so I ended up hitting the county and regular shit. I'm at
How
this.
was processing for you though? Because
It
those
wasn't
usually take
nothing, 'cause-
forever, no?
It was a little bit different because there's way more grown men in there. Now you're in there and you're around all kinds of grown ass fools. You know what I mean? In camp, it's a bunch of fools your age or
Yeah.
whatever. In there, it's grown ass men and shit. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? The energy's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see everybody tatted and everything. You know what I mean? You're like, okay,
You didn't have
this
tattoos
is-
yet?
They're playing ball. Yeah, I had a few, but not that many. I had like a couple right here. I had a few, some on my neck, and you know. Mm-hmm. But not like some of these fools were all, you know what I mean? These
Yeah.
fools are all blasted all the way. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, damn, this is getting real now. It's real in here, you know? So, yeah, I hit the county, and then from the county, Delano.
Then you went to prison right then and then.
Yeah, I got
Dang,
I got
never-
a forthwith. I was only in the county after I got, because I took a deal quick.
Mm-hmm.
I already knew they had me on, you know what I mean? I already knew they had me for the robberies that I did. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
like, oh, there ain't no fighting this.
Yeah.
They got me. You know what I mean? Somebody snitched on me.
Yeah.
So I knew they knew who I was or whatever.
So
I
how
wasn't
long
gonna
were you
get
in the
away with
county
it.
for?
I was only there for probably like 3 months, 3.5 months.
Oh, that was super
before I
fast.
caught the chain and bounced to Delano.
Oh, damn. What would you say was the craziest thing you experienced those 3 months?
I didn't hit no riots in the county. I mean, we almost got into one quick. Like I'm talking where we're like we were like two teams on the 5,000 floor, just like face to face with the
Like
blacks.
the American, like the American Midwife?
yeah, and it wasn't even nothing that had to do with us. They were fighting amongst each other, having a power struggle, and they had kept on fighting, and they were fighting and fighting over who was running their side or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, they were trying to do it on the low, you know, but the Hudas were like, they announced on the speakerphone, they were like, hey, if you keep that fighting, we're going to shoot balls in there.
Ooh, that's scary.
And so as soon as they said that, all the homies are like, hey, fool, if these fools are going to shoot balls in here, we're going to kick it off. You know what I mean? So they hopped up, and then when them fools seen us tripping, like they stopped it after, you know what I mean? But like, it was close. It was
You're
super
like,
close.
oh
I
my
was like,
God.
oh, it's going down right now. It's going to be a rumble, but
completely different stuff.
yeah, but we just missed it. It didn't happen and stuff, but yeah, that was crazy. And then, you know, there's a gang of fights and who does smashing fools out. There's all kinds of stuff. The county's crazy, you know what I mean?
Is it easy for you to adjust?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then being big is cool, you know what I mean? Fools kind of respect it when you're big as fuck. You know, some fools don't care, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some fools don't care, but for the most part, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you
pull in and you stay quiet and you keep your head down and
yeah.
stuff, you'll get by quick, you know what I mean? Like,
nice.
That's it. That's all you gotta do. You
It's
get
always like
busted,
the little ones, huh?
Keep your head down, stay
Those
quiet,
rocks.
you know? It's the ones that talk and come in all loud, get in trouble, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's it, but...
So then you said 3 months after you went to where?
Then I went to Delano.
Okay, and is that like that was the reception thing, right?
Yeah, Delano reception, yeah.
Is that did you learn how to bird bath there, or where did you learn how to bird bath?
I didn't start bird bathing, I think, until... I think right there, maybe we did hit a bird bath. Because we were on lockdown for a second. But I remember, like, really professionally bird bathing was like in Centinela. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like
This was
straight showers. You know what I mean? Radio on, and you know?
Like
doing
normal.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't matter where the water
Yeah, you just
goes.
throw your towels down, you know what I mean? And do your thing. If you know how to do it, you could take a cool little bird bath.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
That was funny. You said straight shower with the radio.
Yeah, radio on, you know what I mean? Little curtain up, you're
Nice.
chilling, you know?
Yeah.
Ain't no thing, you know?
Okay, so you're in Delano. You get there. You say you're kind of like you're on lockdown.
Yeah, we were on lockdown for a while, and then when I got there, we were on lockdown. And then when I hit the yard, I was tripping out because there was probably 7-8 homeboys from the city right there.
Okay.
So that felt good, walking the yard with all just fools from our city, and you know what I mean? I was like, oh, this is fire
You're
right
all
here, you know? Because I don't got no kids at the time or nothing, so I'm not tripping. You know what I mean? So there's a bunch of fools there from all the cliques because where our city is, there's a bunch of different cliques and stuff. So
It's pretty big.
there was a bunch of fools there and stuff. So everybody's together rolling around, and it was cool. And nothing happened right there neither. Nothing crazy happened right there. I ended up going from that yard, getting classified or whatever, and then went to the other yard wherever they send you right before you're about to get shipped out, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay, so where did you go?
And then from there, I went to Centinela. And I did the rest of my time right there in Centinela.
Because how long did you get sentenced to?
They gave me 4 with 80.
Oh, so what did you
But
do,
I
like
ended
2?
up doing 5.5.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. I ended up doing 5.5 for some batteries and then Pruno and shit like that. Yeah, because Pruno, you don't get your time back. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So I got caught with Pruno twice, caught a battery, and didn't get that time back either. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you do good for 90 days or something after you catch a write-up, you could get time back. But if you don't, then you don't get that time back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You'll do it. So, yeah. So
Where did you learn how to make Pruno?
Right there.
That was your thing. Was that your hustle?
No, Pruno was cool. Yeah, no, we figured it out. That wasn't my hustle, but we would just do it when we wanted to get loaded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's somebody's birthday coming up or something. Everybody hey, start saving. If you're gonna drink, throw your fruits over there and your juices and your, you know what I mean? Syrup, whatever, you know. But yeah, no, it was cool.
What would you say was the craziest thing you experienced in Centinela? That you experienced?
I mean, there's a riot kicked off over there.
Was that your first one?
Actually, there was 2 riots that kicked off right there.
Tell me about your first one. When you were obviously everybody's you're not really prepared, but you're it's gonna happen.
No, so the first one was right there. It was with the Gavas. It was with the white boys, and it's crazy because there wasn't a lot of them. So what happened was one day the yard goes down. And we're like, what the hell happened? You know, because there was no tension with nobody or nothing. It was, there's no Northerners or nothing right there. So it's pretty chill. Anything that cracks right there is really behind money or, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. So the yard goes down. We're like, oh man, I wonder what happened. So anyway, the next day we were on lockdown. So we ended up figuring out later that one of the Gavas ended up whacking one of the homies in the building.
Oh, that's not cool.
Right. We're like, damn. We're like, they did what? So they're like, yeah, that fool whacked so-and-so or whatever. So we're like, this fool wrote his people a death sentence. You know what I mean?
Because there weren't so many.
Because there's
many
only
of
a
them.
few of these fools. So we're in the gym. There's probably only like 20 of them. There's like 60 of us. You know what I mean? And so we already heard what happened. So we already know that this is going to happen. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of when they say to make it happen. But we already know it's going to happen. So we're already just like, oh, man, this is going to be bad, you know? So like a month goes by where nothing happened. We're just in the gym with them. You know what I mean? Regular program. So then finally they send word and they're like, kick it off, you know? So we're like getting ready or whatever. And I'm already like, everybody's kind of like, oh, man. This is gonna be ugly, you know what I mean?
Because there's so little of them, right?
So yeah, so it goes down, it kicks off, and we get busy with them fools, and yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Like they airlifted a few of them fools and all kinds. Like
You're like running or like how does that work?
It was ugly. Like no, we're just in the gym, so there was nowhere to run to. So it just like kicked off real quick, and they were just right there, and
like kind of in between the beds and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
You know what I mean? So it didn't take that long. These fools started shooting in a second, but like they got pretty demolished. Like it was bad. I felt a little bad for them, but we still had to do what we had to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me and my bunkie at the time.
Wait, tell me about your bunkie.
That was the homie.
You're
The
smiling.
homie Joker from Playboys and shit. That's the boy right there. That was my boy. He was cool. People ordered homie and shit. It was cool. But yeah, we all just did. You know, everybody who had to was like, hey, just make sure we come and get your piece real quick and get out of there, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
and it was cool. But
Did you ever have
yeah.
a celly that you were like, I don't want to be with this fool?
Nah, not really.
Oh, you got along with all your cellies?
I had pretty cool salaries.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? I had pretty cool salaries. The homie Snoop, my homie from Whittier. Man, there was one homie, I can't remember who he was from, but I ended up getting his cell. He was like, he had been in there for like years, I guess. But they were like, hey, you're moving with him. And they were like, he's a lifer. So I was like, oh, man. You know what I mean?
Because you have to like adjust to his program.
But right when I move in, he was like, this is your cell, dog. I'm moving out. But the cell was hooked up. The cell looked like a freaking, like a showroom. You know what I mean? Like this cell was hooked up, chromed out, freaking toilet. Like this thing was crazy. So I ended up getting that cell for a while. But then I was only there for like 2 months, and then they moved me to the gym.
Back to the gym.
Yeah, but that cell was fire though.
You're
Like,
not keeping
it's crazy
your-
to say that though, but the
Yeah.
cell was dope. I mean, pinstriped up, painted, like it was crazy.
Well, he lived in it for a long time.
It looked like a model. It looked like a lowrider car. Like
Damn.
yeah.
That's kind
You'd
of
be
intense.
surprised. It was sick. Paint pictures waxed into the wall with pinstripe. Like it was trip.
Oh, shit.
It was a trip.
Did you have pen pals?
Yeah, hell yeah. I wrote to a few so I ain't gonna lie.
Hey. What
No,
did
but-
what did he have to say?
Because those are the ones that are gonna give you time and write you back in there for the most part.
Nah, really?
Nah, but those are the ones that were sending money and packages and
And
stuff
those are the
like
ones
that.
that
I ain't gonna
matter.
lie. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
mean, at the time, I didn't care about nothing and stuff, but you know
No,
what
as
I
long
mean?
as
But
you were getting
we
your
weren't
stuff.
tripping on nothing. We were just trying to get some packages and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we were
for
young,
sure.
crazy, and you know what I
You're
mean?
21, 22.
Who could we call collect, whatever? You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
weren't tripping on nothing, you know? I didn't have no kids or nothing. I wasn't tripping on nothing. It was just messing around pretty much.
Yeah,
you know what
just
I mean?
Getting your time going.
That's
And she'll
it.
send you her pictures
You
or
know
what?
what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Were those the pictures that you wanted to share or
All the
not?
freaking glam shots and shit, you know? Don't show nobody. Just put them away, you know?
You're all, these are keeping it to myself.
Nah, there was a couple cool ones that came through though with some packages and shit. I'm not gonna lie.
That's
Shout
nice.
out to them. You
yeah,
know what
yeah,
I mean?
of course. I'm just talking shit, girls.
Nah, me too. I'm just bullshitting. No, there was some cool ones in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
There's some cool homegirls
There's
that
a
hold
lot
it
of-
down.
There's
You know
a lot
what I
of
mean?
girls that
They do.
always
They
look
hold
out.
it down. They'll take them calls and do things for you that you need done for real. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, for sure.
Stuff that family won't even do.
Yeah,
you know
don't
what I
fucking
mean?
call me because I ain't fucking answering.
Straight up. Straight up.
No, seriously. Okay, so you had your pen pals. You know, it went by fast. You worked out.
Yeah. Oh, you have to work out.
Yeah, you
know what
have
I
to
mean?
work out. And well, did you cook or did you have everybody else cook?
Nah, hell yeah. Everybody cooks. At some point, you're gonna cook. You know
And
what
what
I
was
mean?
your favorite thing to make?
It just depends on the spread, but I used to like to put like menudo and chili beans and chicharron and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like burritos and you know? Just depends what you got. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever. What you could make it work.
Just depends what you got. For a while, I had a Sally. I mean, in the gym, not a Sally, but my bunkie, and it was from Verdugo. But yeah, he ended up moving into the gym where I was at and stuff, and he used to do his thing. His girl used to come and take care of him or whatever, you know what I mean? So it was like, hey, I need to bunk up with you, dog. We're going to be straight, though. Don't you? I was like, I don't trip. So I had juice with the cops and or whatever, so I'm like, I need him with me. So I don't trip. So they put him with me. But yeah, for probably like a cool, I want to say like 4 or 5 months, we were just
Eating it up.
eating up, and you know what
Working
I
out,
mean,
just
cooking
living,
crazy, working out.
living while you're there. You're living at your best.
Yeah, we're drinking, smoking, and you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Straight West Coasting and all that. No, but yeah, it was a cool little time with them. You know what I mean? It was a cool little time. You know how it is. Like, you meet some cool sallies, and you know what I mean? There's good times in there. There's bad times too, but there's definitely.
What would you say was, since you said sad times, what was something that, you know, that sticks out to you that you remember that, like, damn, this was like super sad?
I want to say probably when one of the homies, I want to say the homie's mom died, and he thought he was going to leave. You know what I mean? He was like, I'm going. And I was like, don't get your hopes up, dog, because if they pull the plug and don't do it, you're going to go through it, Pops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they ended up not letting him go. And then
That was going
I was
through
like,
it.
keep an eye on the homie, man. You know what I mean?
Yes, because you don't ever know.
Yeah, you know, so it was crazy. You know what I mean? It was crazy to see somebody going through some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Like, you're not able to, like, actually release your full emotions to the max. Like, you got to hold it in. I would have been like, but you can't, or can you?
Yeah, I mean, you could.
Like,
you know,
give the homie like
you
an
could,
hour.
You get, you know what I mean? I'm sure you're going through an extreme circumstance. They're gonna
understand.
Not yet, but I mean, I'm sure there's limits to that.
Yeah,
too. You know what I mean?
Of course, because you don't want to show those kind of emotions. People will probably take advantage.
Nah.
You know,
you got to bottle that up and
people
put that away.
Mean.
You got to bottle that, put that away for bedtime. You know what I mean? It sucks,
bite the pillow,
you know, that's what you got to do. You know.
So what happens?
Which part?
You said you cut a battery. You were making pruno.
Yeah, I cut a battery right there. So the first battery that I cut right there was, I remember I wasn't even supposed to go on the mission or nothing. I wasn't in trouble or nothing. It wasn't nothing like that going on. So I hit the yard over there to Centinela, and then I was going to fire camp. I had suggested fire camp again, right? So they were going to send me to fire camp, Susanville or whatever, but I ended up going to the 1 yard. The 1 yard was crazy. It was cool for a while. It was just a party over there. So I ended up messing up over there, catching a ride up. So they sent me back to the 3 yard, right? So I'm on the 3 yard, and it's cool right there over there for a while, waiting for my points to drop or whatever so I could go back to the 1 yard, right? And I remember there was a bunch of homies on the yard. The SGV car was deep right there. There was a lot of us, you know? And there was a homie in the kitchen. His name was Wolf from Monrovia. He was cool people. And he was the only one there from his city, though, right? And all of us, there was a bunch of us. There was like fools from Almani. Everybody was deep. Like there was whoever was there had homies, you know?
Yes.
And it was just him by himself, you know? But it was cool. It was the homie. He used to work in the kitchen, bring food, all that, whatever. So I remember one day I seen him, and we used to talk all the time because we slept next to each other. So he used to always tell me about his kids, and he's ready to go home and all that, whatever, right? And he's going home like 4 months. So one day I walk in from the yard, and this fool's like packing up all his stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm like, where you going, fool? You know what I mean? And he's like, I'm about to go on a mission right now. And I'm like, why? What's up? I'm like, what'd you do? The first thing I asked him, you know what I mean? I'm like, what'd you do? He's like, nothing, fool, you know? So I had just got my time. I still got like 4 years to do, you know what I mean? So I'm not tripping. So I'm like, hey, Pop, don't trip. Put your stuff away. I'm gonna go handle it for you. Who is it? You know what I mean? So he tells me who it is. So they're from the area too. You know what I mean?
Shit.
They're from the area too. And from a city that we really mess. So I'm like, don't trip. I got it. I got that for you, you know? So he's like, nah, I don't want them to think I'm a puss or whatever, you know? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, fool, go home, dog.
It's okay.
I'm just getting started, doggy. You could go home. I'm going to do this for you, fool. So I ended up going to the yard and raising my hand for him or whatever, you know what I mean? I remember one of my homies was there, my older homie. He's like, why'd you do that? But I'm like, don't trip. Well, I'll be around here somewhere, you know, whatever.
Yeah. So
I ended up going on a little mission. And you know, taking something to the back and all that, whatever, and, you know. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't nothing. It wasn't a crazy ass mission. It was just a little beat down. You know what I mean? He owed some money or whatever. You know what I mean? Fool wasn't even tripping in the back after he sent me a kite and was like, "Hey, it's all good, fool. No love lost. I know what you know what I mean? He knew what he did. He knew what he did. You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing personal. I didn't even know the guy. You know what I mean? But I would walk by him sometime from the showers, and he'd be like, "What's up, also?" And you know what I mean? It was no love. It was all love or whatever. But
it's kind of. I mean, I feel like that way is so much better. Like when people take accountability, when they know they have it coming. Like, you know what? I did mess up. Fuck it.
No, for sure.
And I feel like it just makes. Well, as a woman, I don't know because I'm not in there with men, but just like I always say, like I hear so many stories. I feel like I've already been there. Like I'm one of the fucking guys in there.
Right.
Obviously, it would never be that way. Thank God, right?
Right.
But it's just like I feel like even out here, you should be able to be accountable for your own stuff.
No, for sure.
You know,
for sure.
because
So,
it does make everything smoother.
No,
even for
sure.
your own personal self.
For sure. So
You
yeah,
know?
he wasn't worried about it, and yeah, we moved past it. It wasn't no big deal. But yeah, that happened, and then so I hit the hole. I was there for probably like 3.5 months or 4 months.
And that was your first time in the hole?
And that was my first time in the hole.
Tell me about that experience.
So that was crazy. So we, you know, they send you back with packages or whatever. You know what I mean? So we took them whatever back there to them, and it was cool. We were back there. They start calling our name on the guile and all that or whatever, you know. So we stay there, do that, and then I remember when we get released, they're like, "Hey, we need to send a package back over there."
You're like, "Oh,
over
shit,
there. I'm like,
no."
"Oh shit!" Like, shoot it, I guess, you know. So
Yeah.
they shoot it. So bam, we take that back. So it's crazy because whether you wanted to be in that type of mix or not, like when you're going from this place to that place, you know what I mean? If you're rolling with the program, you're rolling
just
with the
have no
program. You
choice.
know what I mean? So bam, so when you get back over there, even if you're just delivering the message, like it's like you're part of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're part of them boys
because
doing
you're just
that.
a messenger.
But it is what it is, you know what I mean? That's just that's part of jail, you know what I mean?
Yeah. How many terms did you do?
Just that one.
Ah, okay. So out of 4 years, and you're supposed to do 40 with you said
4 with 80.
4 with 80, but you ended up doing almost 6.
Yeah, 5.5, yeah.
So I think when we first met, or I don't know, I heard a story that what is the guy that you saved his life? Is that
Yeah, in the riot, I think.
do you remember that story?
Oh, was it? I know G from me. That's the boy right there.
Yeah.
I know him good. We were on the yacht for a long time together.
Because we met him through you.
Yeah.
That's how it went. Because I remember, yeah. But then you said something about like you saved his life or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I know we got into a riot right there together. We got into a riot right there together. But I can't remember that story.
You're probably all drunk, fool.
I could have
That's why
been.
you got caught
I
up with
could have
Bruno.
been. I could have been. But yeah, we got into a crazy riot right there too with the blacks. We got into a riot and stuff. But and then after that riot, I ended up doing the rest of my time right there in the hole, and that's where I ended up paroling from the hole.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
So I did like the last 15 months right there in the hole.
Just by
But it
yourself.
was kind of cool right there. It was chill right there. You know
Probably
what I mean?
smoother, huh?
It was chill. We were just chilling. Cool program back there. You know what I mean? Bunch of books and everything. It was pretty cool. It wasn't the worst back there. It was cool.
Everybody always says that it's so much calmer.
Yeah, it's a little breath of fresh air, low key. You know what I mean?
Because you don't gotta be dealing with everybody else, and
Yeah.
you're just in your room,
You
and
know
I
what
mean, who you talk to,
could
whoever.
breathe
But
and no
yeah,
one standing behind you or nothing. You know what I mean? You got your Sally. You know what I mean? But if you're solid, you ain't got nothing to worry about with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's cool, especially if you got a good Sally. You know what I mean? Because there's good Sallys and there's shitty Sallys, but you know.
Did you ever have a shitty one? Oh, you said
Not
no,
really.
huh?
Not really. I had pretty good Sallys.
Let me ask you this: did you rap back then, or when the heck did you start rapping?
I started rapping. I rapped before that, like just freestyle in the hood type stuff with the homies, you know?
Okay.
Like just random freestyles, like just raw freestyles for real, you know? And then in there is when I started, that's when I first wrote, anything was in there. And it was just like a long ass verse with all the homies from whatever barrios and you know what I mean? And everybody in there. And that was kind of when I first started. I think I busted some freestyles in the county, but in Centinela is where I first wrote some verses. You know what I mean? I didn't even know it was called a verse yet. I just wrote a bunch of lines. You know what I mean? For real.
Yeah, you didn't even. You just like.
Yeah, I just wrote a bunch of crap and packed it in. And you know what I mean?
It worked out.
And it worked out. You know.
It worked out.
But yeah.
So you paroled from. Wait, what was the nicest thing you experienced there? Even if it wasn't you, but that you saw like a super nice gesture of like, yeah, that's fucking nice.
I mean, I don't know. They throw birthday parties for certain fools, and you know what I mean. Fools do cakes and stuff for food. I don't know.
Did you have a birthday party?
Everybody has a birthday party.
Yeah, that's
you know what I
cool,
mean?
yeah.
If you're on the team, you're gonna get a birthday cake and a little spread, or you
That's
know what I mean?
nice.
For sure, you know.
Feel a little love for them.
If they got love for you, for sure they're gonna make you some pruno. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just depends what you're trying to do. If you're into that or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Some fools ain't trying to drink in there. Some fools are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did drink in there.
You're right.
For sure.
No, yeah, I did have some drinks in there for sure. Made some white lightning. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. That's cool.
Yeah, hell
Did you
yeah.
blaze it in there too?
Hell yeah.
Because you're a mean weed head.
Hell yeah. We were stayed smoking in there. We stayed smoking in, especially in the 1 yard. When we were on the 1 yard further, I was there for probably like 2 months or so. But it was off the hinges right there because if you had visitors and stuff, they could just throw stuff out the window where we worked outside on the grounds. So like when they would come to visit after Monday, we'd be out there looking for packages, and there would just be packages everywhere
Oh, shit.
from people.
And the cops knew probably, huh?
They probably did, but we would still find the packages and bring them back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that yard was off the hook, like off the hook. Like I'm talking about, we had Sega Game Gears and stuff like that on the yard, like in the. it was off the hook.
And
It
you just
was
had to stash
literally
them?
off the hinges. Yeah.
Or they let you?
No, you had to stash it.
Oh, shit.
You had to stash
Because there
it.
was no phones. Mm-hmm. Not even the Razor ones yet, huh?
Yeah, there wasn't no phones yet. Before that
Shit.
time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No visits in prison.
Yeah, I got some visits from a couple girls, my little brother. No family. My mom had always told me she had already been doing the prison thing with my brothers and stuff. So when I
Makes
went, she
sense.
was like, if you go to prison or anything, I'm not doing that visit stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she stuck to her word. She never came to visit me in prison. In camp, she did. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
in prison, she didn't. You
Because
know what I mean?
you were still a young boy.
Yeah, I was little. You know what I mean? But yeah, she never did visit me in prison. But my little brother did. Shout out to my little brother Chris. He came.
Aw.
He came all the way over there to see me. You know what I mean?
That's sweet.
Yeah, and he picked me up when I paroled. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
he sent who sent you your clothes?
Yeah, my little brother.
Oh, okay.
My little brother.
Nice.
Or actually, yeah, my little brother.
That's
Pretty
cool.
sure.
How are the visits? I never visited anybody in prison.
The visits right there were cool. They were simple. You know what I mean? They come visit. They search you on the way out, search you on the way back in. You know what I mean?
Got it. For contraband,
Food out
obviously.
there or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Yeah, I had like 2 or 3 visits.
It does make a little time go by faster,
Yeah, it
at least
does.
for like a month.
It does.
Right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so the years pass. You're working out, you're doing your thing, you got more time.
Right.
And when did you find out you were going to go home, or did they give you a date before? How does that
I
work?
knew I was going home already, and then, but I thought I was going to get transferred. I thought I was going to go to like, what's the close prison right there? Ironwood or something, because it was close by. So because it was a riot, they weren't releasing me back to the yard, you know? Mm. So they're like, they're going to probably share everybody's time. They're going to probably send you to Ironwood food right here or whatever. So I was like, oh, well, whatever. You know what I mean? I wasn't tripping, you know what I mean? But I ended up just doing all my time and paroling from right there.
That's pretty crazy to be in one spot for that long,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
'Cause it
and
was
then
like-
it was crazy because that building was built like a shoe. So it wasn't just like the regular AdSec. AdSec A5 was just like a regular building, you know what I mean? 2-story, you could see everything and all that. But over here, it was just one aisle, nothing
see
in front of
nothing.
you, you know what I mean?
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it was crazy. But we figured that out quick, too. Everybody was shooting lines over it. In no time, everybody knew where everybody was at and everything. It was crazy. It was a trip.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, I was the first one to open that up. That's them C buildings in Santanella, the hole right there. Yeah, we were the first ones in them buildings.
Hey, and you learned how to fish there as well?
Yeah, no, we learned how to fish there at A5 the first
'Cause
time when
they're
I
all the
caught
same.
that battery. No, it's not all the same. I mean, the concept is of throwing the fish line around and stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's just a different route, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Depends what's in front of you, you know what I mean?
Damn, well, there's nothing in front of you, eh?
Yeah, no, so at the end of the tier, so it was just like all brick walls, and then at the end of the tier, the gate opens for the food cart. So in the night, as soon as that door opens, when they're about to must the food, whoever's on this side of the cell and whoever's on this side of the cell are about to start shooting lines back and forth that way. So as soon as it opens, they're already like, hey,
Be ready.
get ready, fool, boom. So they'll start shooting the kites over that way, and then little by little, they'll make their way all the way around
shit.
where everybody's at. You
That's
know what I
crazy,
mean?
huh?
Yeah.
It's crazy how we just figure out, like, I wonder who that one person was to, like, actually, like, be the one. Like, this is how it's gonna go.
I think it's a team effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, a team
It's
effort.
a team effort because word gets around fast and they figure it out quick. You'd be surprised.
quick.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure, I know what you mean.
You'll be surprised. They know exactly where everyone's at. Yeah.
What about the cops? Were they okay with you? You never got, like,
Nah, the cops right there, and they're pretty respectful. And, you know what I mean? For the most part, right there. I mean, or at least right there, they were. You know what I mean? They weren't too ballsy or being too disrespectful with stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they kinda
I mean,
know
there was a
the-
lot of lifers right there. I would assume she would pop off. You know what I mean? But nah, they weren't. It wasn't that type of energy with the popos right there.
nice.
You know?
That makes things a bit much smoother.
Yeah, it was pretty smooth. You know what I mean? For the most part.
Okay, so your brother picks you up. You already knew your brother was going to pick you up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
Yeah, so they release me right there. I get out from the hole. I leave my stuff with one of the fellas right there around the way, you know? Mm-hmm. And I get out, hit the van, and then they go and drop us off at some location. And my brother was right there with some chick that I was talking to at the time.
Ah, she went. Okay.
Yeah, so I paroled to her spot for a while, right there in West Covina. And that didn't last too long. And then I just started moving around again, you know what I mean? But I was on parole. But luckily, I didn't get no violations or nothing. I stood off and all the way until I shook my number, you know what I mean?
How long were you on parole for?
I think I got out in 2006, and I think I shook my number like by 2010.
Oh, okay.
Like 4 years.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
What was the hardest thing for you to adjust to, if you still remember? Because you've been out for a long time.
I think the hardest thing to do is trying to stay out of the mix, because I took that deal with 2 strikes.
Oh.
So like even after that we were messing around a little bit, but it was like always in my head immediately because I just got out, so I'm of course aware of it. You know what I mean? So it was a little bit sketchy messing around a little bit. Well,
yeah,
having 2
because
strikes,
it's like,
you know
bro,
what I mean?
you could like lose your life.
Yeah, because we were rolling around doing stupid stuff for a little while. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then I ended up getting shot a little bit after that.
While being on parole?
2000, yeah.
You didn't get in trouble?
No.
Good.
I didn't get in trouble. So what happened was one of the homies that ended up getting, one of the homies died that day. The homie Wino, rest in peace. And one of the older homies, they lit him up. And so we had all got together and we were all looking around doing our thing, you know what I mean? Doing what we do, you know what I mean? Trying to find whoever. And nothing happened. I remember there was a bunch of us. We're rolling around right there off of Lama, you know what I mean? All of us were right there. We rolled around all over, nothing. And so I remember I was working at the time for a labor union, you know what I mean? So it's around 1 a.m. And I was like, hey, I'm bounced. I got to go to work tomorrow. I got to roll. Yeah, so one of my boys is like, drop me off at my grandma's. And he lives right here
around the
going
corner.
Towards Whittier. I was staying in Whittier at the time. And he's going to go over here like off of in between, you know what I mean? Puente and Whittier.
Yes.
He's like, I'm going to my grandma's. So I was like, I don't trip. It's right there. So he hops in the car with me. So as soon as we take off, we hit the stop sign. And when we get to the stop sign, there's a car right there already sitting. So when I get there, I'm waiting for this car to move. It don't move. So I go, watch out. Before I start tapping his leg, you know? I'm like, watch out. So I'm on it, you know? So the car ends up turning right by us. And so we start throwing it up at each other or whatever, right? And this car, you can't see nothing. It's just blacked out windows. So they end up hitting the brakes. So I didn't see it on my blind side. On that side, they're jumping out of the car.
Oh, no.
And this one starts lighting us up. Where'd you get
my
hit? Boy starts firing back. He's shooting through the car in my car. He's in my brand new car.
Like, fool, open the window at least.
Shooting straight back, right? But it just happened like this. You know what I mean?
Super quick. Yeah, you don't ever know.
So it's going down. But yeah, I ended up getting hit in the back like 3 times.
On your back.
In my back. Yeah, I'm trying to duck like this. And I'm getting hit. Bam, bam, bam.
Shit.
So I'm able to drive. So I had been shot before that one time. And I had got shot in the lungs. And that time when I got shot, like I felt it. Like you're like, you know what I mean? You can't breathe.
Your lung?
So this time
so
I got shot.
you only just have one lung then?
They cleaned it up or whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
So this time I got shot. It didn't hit me nowhere like this. So I didn't feel like short of breath or nothing. So I remember I told my boy like, we gotta go to the hospital, fool. But I was functioning still. I'm like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I need to go. But I remember a bullet traveled up towards my head. So I felt like I got shot in my head because like I kept on going like this and looking at my hand to see if there was blood. You know what I mean? But there was nothing. But there was a bullet in my head that traveled up there. You know what I mean?
So because they shot you in your back and it went like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
so I kept on thinking I'm leaking, but I'm looking. There's no blood. So I'm like, I think I'm good. You know. And so I ended up driving myself to Queen of the Valley. Well, we ended up meeting up with one of the homies, swapped drivers, got rid of the shooter, you know what I mean, and all that. And then went to Queen of the Valley. And then I thought I was going to get cuffed to the bed. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, my parole officer is about to pull up on me and cuff me right now, you know?
No, that's a super scary feeling.
Yeah, because the cops came and they're like, who did it? Gang unit came and they're being dicks. I remember they were like, who did it? I'm like, I don't know, fool. You know what I mean? Get out of here.
I was just going home from work.
I'm just doing regular stuff, you know? So they left all pissed off. And I I remember they were trying to talk to my little sister and brother. They're like, who do you think it was? You know what I mean? They're like, I don't know, get out of here or whatever. But yeah, I remember thinking, that fool goes, I'm going to call your parole officer right now. Because he goes, you're on parole, right? And I'm like, he's like, I'm going to call your parole officer. I was like, oh, damn, I'm about to get violated for sure, you know? But he never called. He never came or whatever. I get released from the hospital. Cool. So I'm like, I should call this fool. You know what I mean? I'm like,
For
he probably
sure.
got a call, so I got to call him, right? So I call him, and I just told him, I was like, yeah, I went to go pick up my girl at the time's nephew called me. He was walking, so I went to go pick him up because it's active over there right now. So I told him when I was picking him up that somebody pulled up on us, and you know what I mean?
And she was okay.
And it went off and whatever, and he didn't violate me. You know what I mean?
That's
So,
good.
yeah, so I got lucky with that one right there because I thought for sure I was going to catch the gang violation. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
But no, I didn't.
Well, that's a good thing. So then what happens? When did you start doing this music stuff? Like, actually.
So music, the first time I did music was with YBE. You know, Yogi?
Yo, Yogi.
Yeah, that's my boy right there. Shout out to Yogi. The first time ever in the studio was with him. And I just found him on YouTube. YouTube was barely cracking at the time, like for real, but I seen him on YouTube. And I remember he was always rapping about the SGV and stuff like that. So I was like, I need to link up with this little cat right here. You know what I mean?
He's nice.
So I sent him an email, or I had my sister. I think I didn't even do it. I think I told my little sister, like, hey, find that email or something, and, you know, send the email off to YouTube. So she ended up hitting him. She's like, hey, this fool hit back right now, you know?
Oh, nice.
So I call him, and I'm just like, hey, fool, I've never been in the studio. You know what I mean? I said, but I know I could rap, dog, you know? Just put me in. Just put me in, dog,
Yeah.
you know? So he was like, I'm going to go today. I'll go pick you up right now. He's like, we're going to go sell some CDs real quick. He's like, we'll go get some pisto and some trees, and we'll roll. So we did. We went to Ontario to some gas station right there. Hopped off, sold like 20 CDs real quick.
Dang.
I swear, we made like 20 CDs, got enough money for studio time, some beer and some trees, and went to the studio and kicked it to the studio. I think it was like some dude named T5, like in Riverside or something.
Oh, shit.
And yeah, we started making music. And yeah, that kind of kicked off pretty quick too. The music came pretty quick because he was doing his thing already, you know what I mean? So I hopped on in, and it kind of just came natural and caught a cool little buzz for a minute, you know what I mean?
Nice. So what are you doing now, or what's happening?
So I'm going to do another run. I'm going to give it another run.
For fun?
Yeah. Yeah, for fun and business for the kids too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you did mention that you wanted to leave your kids with more stuff for them
my
too.
kids, you know what I mean? I'm going through some court issues with the kids, so if I can't see them, I'm gonna do something for them so they know, you know what I mean?
Okay, that's sweet.
So they know what time it is, you know?
Yeah, that for sure. That's nice.
Yeah,
you know?
so that's it, you know what I mean? Make sure they know what's cracking with pops, you know? Shout out to my kids.
Shout out to your kids.
Yeah.
When
Shout
did
out to
you
my
have kids? Obviously, I know when you had kids, but I'm saying like how long after?
So I ended up having a kid around, when's Mikey Bear's birthday? He's 18. He just turned 18, my oldest.
Wow.
So yeah, I had him, and then I was still doing music when I had him, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, and then me and his mom ended up having issues and stuff too, so I didn't see him for a second, but now that he's older, we're, you know.
Yeah, you guys
That's
have a
my
mom.
road dog right there.
Nice,
you know what I
love
mean?
that for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, so you're gonna go out. You're gonna do another music run.
Yep.
Did you already record? You already have all of your stuff, or not yet?
Nah, I'm just getting beats and getting it together. Got my boy from Loyalty Ink, my boy Greg and stuff. He's behind me, and he's always pumping me up. Because in the beginning, we used to always be going to shows,
Okay.
all the car shows and all that. And you know what I mean? We were doing them together. Tattoo shop and rap type of booths and stuff. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
that's
Clothing
cool.
and stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So it was working out because he's got the cars and all that. So everything we were doing was just all revolving around each other. So it went pretty good and stuff. So yeah, he does really good, and he's a tattoo artist. He kills it. He's real successful. So he's been pushing me and motivating me. He's like, let's do it, dog.
Well,
Stop
good.
playing. So
Stop playing, fool.
yeah, so yeah, I'm about to. I'm gonna give it a run. You know what I mean? Do some new music for the people, everybody that's been waiting. Because a lot of people ask here and there. You know what I mean? Like, what's
That's
up,
cool.
fool? You know?
When are you gonna do something?
Might as well. I'm trying to get in the studio this week. I just need some beats. If you got some beats, send some beats over West Coast. You know how I do it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I need some bangers, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna do some shit. Have some videos. You know what I mean? So be ready. You guys better pull up.
Cameo.
You
I'm
Eric,
coming out. I'm
the
coming
baby,
out.
Straight up, doing the 2-step real quick.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you decided to come on my channel.
Hell yeah, I had to come.
Yeah, you had to. Is there anything else that you want to share that you haven't shared before we go?
Shit, nothing. That's it. Just,
Stay tuned to your new shit, and that's it.
stay tuned for the new shit, to the kids, stay out of trouble.
That's right. That's
stay
right.
positive, handle your business, and,
Stay focused.
stay out the way, stay focused, stay away from cops, and you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's it. Stay tuned for new music from Big Oso. That's
Yes.
it. Shout out to my kids, Michael Bear, Caden, Noah, Isaiah, Sophia, Aubrey. Love you guys.
Damn, you went from having no kids to having like a gang,
my
huh?
stepkids,
I know that's right.
Yeah, my little
Yeah,
roster,
yeah, I know that's right, yeah.
Hell yeah. One more shout out to my boy from Loudco. You know who you are. If you guys need that, tap in. I'm in the cannabis game too. If anybody needs anything cannabis related, tap in with me. And then plumbing too. I'm in the plumbing industry with my boy. So anything plumbing related, you know what I mean? We're looking for workers. You need a job, hit us up in the Southeast LA area. So yeah, get with us. Plumbing, cannabis, barbers, we got you. You know what I
Whatever.
mean? Tap in with us,
If you need a job.
Need a job, hit us up. We're working over here.
Well, again, thank you for coming also.
Oh,
I
yeah,
appreciate
thank
you
you for having
coming.
me.
You guys don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram.